All right, it was a sad day for children in Arkansas this week. An activist judge there chose the agenda of the radical transgender movement over science. The judge struck down the SAFE Act in Arkansas. That is a bill that would protect children from the dangers of experimental gender procedures, including sterilization and mutilation. Well, the left calls all of this gender-affirming care, but we know that it has nothing to do with being healthy, nor does it have anything to do with affirming these children. When you're talking about surgical castration of children, it's just horrifying. This is not health care. Well, joining me now by phone to discuss this is the sponsor and the champion of the Arkansas SAFE Act, Arkansas State Representative Robin Lundstrum. She represents the 87th District of Arkansas. Representative Lundstrom, welcome back to Washington Watch. Thank you for being on with us.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm delighted to be here. It was a sad day in Arkansas, but I'm just glad we've got to this point. We kind of knew this was coming, and so I'm glad he didn't drag it out any longer. And now off to the Eighth Circuit we go. And our Attorney General has already announced that he is going to appeal. And I think we'll have a much better chance. I hope the judges in the Eighth Circuit, I kind of feel like they'll look at the science and the facts and not stick their finger up in the political wind and decide to go with woke, liberal agenda and look at what's best for children. And castrating children is not what's best.
Absolutely. And it is this very type of judicial activism that just concerns the people all across this country, as well it should, as to the manner in which our judicial branch is becoming politicized. So you were in much of the courtroom, while much of the trial was underway. Tell us what that was like.
Actually, I was not in the courtroom. That was one of the concerns that the attorneys had, was putting me on the stand would make it even more political. They wanted to simply focus on having doctors on the stands and people that had transitioned and detransitioned on the stands. And they really tried to steer it away from politics and put science on the stand. And it still did not get through the political melees of the agenda. And that's really sad. And even in his 80-page comments, it still comes across and it rings very hollow and it's very sad. So we'll just move forward. It's one person's opinion. The whole state and these children rested in one person's opinion. He was an Obama appointee, so I had no illusions. I am so hopeful, though, that we can move forward, and I'm thankful that we have a process to appeal. And so there's no looking back. There's only looking forward.
Well, that's a great way of looking about it, and I apologize. My assumption was that you were in the room, so thank you for clearing that for me. You mentioned a while ago your Attorney General, Tim Griffin, making the appeal on this decision. Has that appeal already taken place? What's the process there?
No, the appeal hasn't taken place yet. It will probably be filed hopefully in the next few weeks. My process as far as the court case, one of the interesting things, the ACLU did depose me. I was deposed for 6 hours and 42 minutes. So they had their shot at me, and they still didn't choose to put me on the stand. So, again, we kept focusing on the science, and that was not where they wanted to go.
Yeah, it's amazing. You know, and they're coming from a party that loves to tout science when they want to, but they don't want any part of it when it goes against their radical agenda. You have spoken, let me put it this way, I assume you've spoken with people who have been a part of this ideology and now regret it for the procedures they've had. What kind of stories are out there from people who have been down this path and now regret it?
I have met so many people who have transitioned and detransitioned, and I have met a number of people from the political left who have quietly supported me, and I have appreciated that. And they're starting to come out and say, wait a second, this is harmful to children. Even though we know you're a Christian, we know you're a Republican, we want to stand with you. And I have appreciated that so much. and they've appreciated the fact that I'm willing to reach across the aisle and lock arms with them. So it's starting to dig deep, and people are starting to look at this and say, wait a second. Children are more important than politics. This is harming children. We don't want our children harmed. And people that have transitioned and are in their 30s and 40s and 50s are saying, wait a second, this didn't work out like I thought. Please don't do this to children. Don't stop. Don't stop. And I appreciate their willing to stand up, and I appreciate the fact that they're willing to at least reach out to me. Some of them don't want to say anything. They're afraid of being bullied, and I understand that.
Well, Arkansas State Representative Robin Lundstrum, thank you so much for putting this bill forward and for continuing the pathway of hope that this is going to continue, and for not throwing up a white flag. We're deeply grateful for you, and thank you for joining us this evening on Washington Watch.
I can't thank Family Research Council. You are such an amazing organization. When we needed help, we called Family Research Council, and Family Research Council came to our aid and were a part of the bill process and have been there ever since. So I couldn't have done it without y'all.
That's awesome. Thank you for those kind words. God bless you.